Hello guys. So hope all of you are doing well and fine. And thank you for the good responses. But still, I'll request you. A lot of people have not subscribed to the channel. I'll request you to please subscribe it so that we can notify you for the upcoming lectures as well, upcoming videos as well. So last time when we were designing the dashboard, we left here. We have designed our pivot charts, but we left with the part of remaining dashboard. So let's complete it today. We'll complete the parts today, and then we'll move forward to the coming more advanced topics. The first thing what I need to do is, if you remember that day, I have created these charts. We have created these charts, so we need to just arrange them properly. First of all, as per our first requirement, we need to arrange them properly so that we can have a better dashboard. Just a moment. Just hover your mouse here and there. I'll put this one down below as well. Not. I want to put this one down below as well. Don't worry, we'll adjust it later on. First, at the top, I'll put this chart from here. My bar chart. I'll put it here. You just need to adjust it properly so it can occupy a proper, good-looking space. Okay. And one more interesting fact which we need to talk about that is uh, if we go to the insert, if we go to the insert, we find some good options over there to insert the icons as well. You can utilize them if required, but not right now. I'm leaving it to you. You can use the symbols to put in the charts or whatever extra shapes you want. So I'm leaving for them right now, and I'm putting up my second chart of sales by segment here, and the third chart just little here. Okay, so you'll just need to adjust some little bit more in the spaces so that it will look much better and easier to understand. Okay, and it must be a very proper giving answer to your stakeholders what they want. Okay, and I'm dragging this down as well. So right now for this small demo we have these three charts. If you have any more, you need to adjust them accordingly. Okay, so adjust them. Now what the next thing we want is we need to put the slicers here onto our dashboard. So we have already created the space for putting up the slicers. So we need to rearrange them. We need to put the slicers here first of all. So for putting up a slicer, click anywhere in any one of your chart. You can click any one of the chart and go to analyze button directly. Okay. So if you jump to analyze button, you will find this option of insert slicer and insert timeliner. So I definitely am interested in insert slicer. So for my three categories, I'll put three slicers: the manufacturer, segment, and category. So what I'll do is I'll choose insert slicer option. It will ask me what are the columns you want for the slicers. So I want one by manufacturer, I want one by category of product, and one by the segment. So I'll put these three slicers here. Okay, it has given me three slicers. So what I'll do is I'll adjust. First of all, I'll put my segment slicer over here. I'll rearrange it the size so that it can be properly looking up to you. Okay. And sometimes what happens is when we have too many values in the slicer. Right now, let's say I have these 5-10 values. But if I'm just giving you a demo, if you have too many values inside the slicer as well, then it is very difficult to sometimes to go on and drag and select the value what you want looking for. So what you can do is you can go to your slicer options. You can jump to your slicer options here, and inside that you will find a column option. You can see right now we have a single column option here. I want to convert it into two columns, and I want to rearrange the slicer something like that, so it will occupy lesser space, and plus it is more better looking as well for me to easily select the items. So I'm happy with this. I'll go to manufacturer as well, and I'll rearrange the size of it as well. And first, once again, I'll convert it also to a two column slicer. That is more better and easily understandable for me now. I can keep the size small now, little. So that is more easier way. And then finally, I'll put my third slicer, which is the one of category. what I'll do is I'll drag this category slicer over here. For this, I think we are happy with a single column because we have two smaller values only. So I'm happy with this. No problem inside this. Okay, so if I drag this, I should drag this here. Okay, so if you want, you can put some later on as per your requirements. You can add the timeliners or any other slicers as well in the slicer pane. Good. So now we are done with the adjusting the slicers as well. So let's drag it little more to make it more better looking. Okay, and drag this one as well a bit more. Yes. Now, good. First of all, I want to change the color of my slicers as well. I want to change the look of my slicers as well. Okay, so not this one. And something like a darkish blue color. This looks much better. Okay, and the last one as well. Yeah. Or if you want to change the uh, any more selections, any more coloring, you can adjust accordingly as per your standard of the report. So that's fine. I'm leaving it up to you. Now, a very important thing. Now, as I told you before as well, number of times we have talked about this in the way of slicer works, the way the slicer works, and I can drag it a little more better, or we can put some extra images here later on to make it more better look. So that's okay. So now my purpose is to talk about the slicer interaction. For example, suppose because if I select, as I already told you, the purpose of the slicer is to make the filtering out in the report so that your stakeholders can make the decision very fast. They can have a look and they can have a look on the data and they can see the results very fast. So if I, for example, for a demo purpose example, if I select a value from manufacturer slicer. So if I select any particular manufacturer, you can see the value is adjusting here in this chart only. Okay, the value is adjusting. I'm getting the answer for a particular Karas slice manufacturer. If I select other one, I'll start getting the answer for that one. If I get for Fama, I'll get for Fama. If I select multiple one, for selecting multiple ones, you have to either select multiple, click on multi-select, and then go and select multiple values from your slicers. You will start getting for two manufacturers data now. Victoria, three manufacturers now. It's absolutely fine, but there is a big problem. And what the problem is, my other two my other two charts are not getting filtered. Only this single chart is getting filtered. And the reason for that is absolutely clear, because when we created the slicers, we have chosen this, we have selected this, will clear all of it as I think it's already clear. So that's fine. So what I'm saying is when we have created the slicers, we have selected this chart. So that is why it is showing me the filters only. Whatever filter I'm selecting, it is applying onto this particular chart only. Whatever filter I'm applying, whatever slicer, even I'm selecting from category, this chart is getting filtered. Even I'm selecting any other value from category, this chart is getting filtered accordingly. It is answering all questions on this chart, but not on the other charts. How to handle this problem? First of all, I'm clearing all the filters, whatever I have applied. Now, what you need to do is just go onto slicer, right click on slicer name, and click on report connections. There is a very beautiful property given, report connections, or you can go to options as well. You can find out report connections here as well. Okay, so click on report connections. It will open up this dialog box. Here it is showing you that this slicer is connected with which chart. So it is showing here that it is connected right now with manufacturer, sales by manufacturer. So we need this slicer to interact with, you can control as per your requirements that you need to interact this slicer with how many charts in your dashboard. Right now for this example, I'm selecting with all. So it will interact when I will select any of the value from this slicer, it will interact with all the three charts. So hit OK. Similarly, I'll do this one for this as well. There is no way of doing it all together for all of the slicers. We have to do separately only. So we have to go to report connections, and yes, I want to interact with all the three. Done. And the same thing I want for the last one as well, my category. So yes, report connections. I'll click on the both of them and done. So now let's see. Right now we have not applied any of the filter. Now what I want to do is I want to select the sales in my, let's see on the three charts, what exactly we'll get the change in all the three charts. So I'm adjusting a little bit here and I'm selecting the sales from a manufacturer only. It will adjust the value in all the three charts. We are getting the report adjusted for all the three charts. Okay, we are getting in sales by category what this manufacturer is results are changing. If we change for any other one, let's say I want to select mix category as well, so I'll get the slices now applied on all the three values of my charts. Rural category, it is showing me data for the rural category. The data changes in sales by segment as well, sales by category as well, everywhere. Okay, so as per your data, it will apply the filters. If you need to clear all of them, just click on this button. We'll clear all the slices from here and it will clear from here as well. We'll back to the original report. So that's a very, very important point to understand. Controlling the interaction between the slicers and the charts. Okay, so that's a very, very important important point to deal with, because that only makes your interactive dashboard a proper interactive dashboard, looking like a proper interactive dashboard. Okay, working like a proper interactive dashboard. So make sure that you do this. If any confusion, I'm repeating in a small way here what I have done. Initially, as I told you, when we go into the slicer, when we select the particular slicer here, just a moment, it's a little bit hanging. Sometimes it takes over. That's fine. So when we select any particular slicer, initially at the time of designing our slicer, we have placed our mouse here inside this pivot chart. So that's why it was interacting. All the slicers were interacting with this chart only, but we don't want that. We want all the slicers to interact with all the charts. So it's up to you. How do you want to interact? How do you want to control the interaction? So for that, how to control it? Let me tell you what I have done. Go to slicer, select the slicer, click on report connections from here, or right click on your slicer name, go to report connections and select the charts from which you want this slicer to interact with. So the same, we have selected all for three. So the same thing I have done for all of my slices. Okay, and now it is interacting for beautifully for all of my with all of my three charts. I'm getting my purpose sorted out. Okay, so that's we are done with creating this small dashboard till now. Okay, yes, we still have a lot of things to do. We can't be we are happy. Yes, we are happy that we have done with. We have created a small dashboard here, but still we have lots of things to do here. Okay, but first of all, the first question which came in my mind is, okay, that's fine. I have created the dashboard and done, but my data gets updated every day. My data gets updated every 6 hours, every maybe every hour. In some projects even it is getting updated in every minute as well. Then how this report will refresh? How this dashboard will refresh? Okay, with the updated data. So no problem. What you have to go do is you go to your let's say I want to go for my sales fact table and I put an entry over here anywhere at the end of my sales table. If I put any entry here, or maybe I update any value here. Okay, so let's say 6,000, something like that. Any value I'm updating it here. Hit on Control S, whatever is getting updated, you just save the value of that particular value which is inserting or updating. It may take some time because our data set is too huge. I think you can understand that when the data set is too huge, sometimes it takes time. So if you just know what you to refresh your dashboard, what you just need to go is to go and analyze and refresh. Okay, so for particular any particular value, it will definitely refresh the data set, and the chart will refresh, and the dashboard will also refresh. So what my point here to tell is, whenever your data is getting updated, whenever the new data is getting inserted, whenever you can see here the changes in all the three charts have been done, and you can see it very clearly that whenever this now when Arcedel, I think the sales was in when Arcedel only. For when Arcedel, maybe it is some product ID is 1157, so it is related to when Arcedel only. So that's okay. Manufacturer only, and So whenever your data is getting updated in the fact sheet, what you need to do is you just need to go on to analyze and just hit on the refresh button. So your dashboard will refresh accordingly so that you can share the current updated and the correct answers to your stakeholders. You can share this correct dashboard to your stakeholders. Okay, so that's a very important point to keep in the mind. Got it? So now I'm happy with this till here, but still 2 points are left in my mind, which we will be talking in the next video. First point, still I'm not done with the calendar. I need to include some points here to deal with the calendar year as well. I am very happy that I'm able to see my dashboard with which is giving me the analysis based on segment, based on manufacturer wise. It is giving me analysis based on category wise of products. That's absolutely fine, and my team is so happy with this. But my manager is so greedy. He wants me to display he wants me to do the analysis by annual reports as well, or maybe quarter reports, or maybe month report for each and every segment, monthly report, weekly report, that as well. So what we need to add in this chart, in this dashboard, is the calendar. We need to add a calendar from where we can pick up the dates, from where we can pick up the difference, from where we need to see the data. So one point is we need to analyze, we need to add the calendars to do the analysis based on the date timing settings. Plus the secondary point is we need to this is a little bit one more problem here. Let's say suppose this is a dashboard for a retail analysis company. I'm absolutely happy with this. My team is happy with this. Even I will add a calendar. They are fine with this. But there is a one very big problem as a developer, and that's creating a lot of problem. That is what is. Suppose for example, you are your retail analysis company is selling these products, and whatever responses you are getting, so you need to create a feedback dashboard as well for your for all of your sales services. You need to create a feedback dashboard. The problem is you let's say suppose you have shared a Microsoft form link to the to all of your customers to fill the feedback. In the coming up session, in the coming up video, we'll talk about that Microsoft form as well. So it will give you an introduction to Microsoft form as well. Okay, so you have shared a Microsoft form to your customers. They are filling up the feedback. I want something. Can it be done something like that, that whenever my customers are filling up the form through Microsoft form, the feedback form in Microsoft Forms, and my report here is automatically getting refreshed. I'm nowhere interested to take the data once again. I go to data and add some more data into these already existing tables, and then I go on to my dashboard and then I refresh it. Okay, can there be some way that that whenever my customer is filling up, my new entries are getting inserted into this data, my dashboard is getting refreshed automatically? Yes, there can be. So for that, a very new, very cannot say very new, but a very useful. We'll discuss about a small tool that is called as Microsoft Power Automate. Okay, that will sync up the data between your dashboards plus the responses which you are getting entered in your data. Okay, the new entries which are getting inserted into your data. So I want my dashboard to sync with that data set. So that's what we'll be discussing in the coming up session. First, I want you to complete your dashboard, make it more better looking. You can put some extra images over here. I think I'm not, you guys are all very good inside that already. I'm not going to put all the, I don't want to show you how to put the images and all that stuff. You can do that. I think you are already put that up to in Excel. So we are not doing that here. So that's it for this session, this video. All the best. Complete your dashboards. Put up your queries. I can see some good comments in the comment box as well. Thank you for that. But I'll request you to still subscribe the channel. Go through all the videos one by one. If you have left the videos behind, go through them so that you can reach up to here in a proper syncing way. Otherwise, it will be a very much mix up for you to if you directly jump up to the dashboards. So go through the videos in a proper way in the playlist, and then come up here and design your dashboard. Come up with your queries. If any questions are there, you can put now in the comment box as well directly, and we'll reply to them as soon as possible. Okay. So thank you so much, and that's it for today's session. Thank you.